faces the two-time defending Conference USA champs, the Liberty Flames. Productive bat in the 5-hole this weekend.
You don't traditionally think of your 5-hole as the one really leading your offense, but there's so many great hitters in this Aggie lineup. Kennedy Powell, one of them. Everywhere you turn, they are always on you.
Here we go, underway. The first of what Texas A&M would like to be 2 games today. Liberty and Elena Escobar, their senior ace, are 1 win away from the biggest moment in program history. That would be their first ever super regional. Another warm, sunny day in Bryan College Station. Very impressive numbers for Escobar. Pitcher of the year this season in Conference USA. She's out ahead of, or finds the zone here against Kennedy Powell, so the count's 2 balls and a strike. What do you expect from the right-hander today?
I think for me, whenever I see Escobar and I think of her movement, she has a late breaking rise ball. She'll get a lot of swings and misses.
This is Kennedy Powell, flares that one to center field. KK Mandry, who hit a giant home run late in the victory yesterday, makes the play.
Going back to Escobar and just the way that she's able to move that rise ball. She's able to have a low rise ball that A&M struggled a lot with. She wasn't getting a ton of bites on that high one. I think that's going to be a game plan going in. You'll see her toss in a curve, but that multiple level rise ball and changeups. You'll see a lot of those today.
So Nicole, she holds Texas A&M to just 5 hits yesterday. Now, they scored 5 runs, only 3 of those were earned, so there were a couple of errors committed in the field. This is one of the purest hitters in the nation. Coco Woolley's average now back to 400. Long run for Rachel Crane, no play.
You can feel the energy immediately. Sometimes a double will do the job. Coco Woolley, she knows right now she needs to get on base. This bunt perfectly placed right in no man's land. The kind of speed that she has is closing. They didn't even get to attempt to throw that ball. But you want a runner on base whenever you have arguably one of the best bats in the Aggie lineup, Maya Perez.
She was the breakout star, Nicole, in the SEC this year. Hit better than 400. Now 14 home runs on the season after the blast yesterday. Bonafide all-conference first-teamer. Escobar must be careful with Woolley at first base. Always a threat to go. Couple of steals in their opening round win on Friday, and that's in for a strike.
Escobar really, like I said, it's not about always a swing and miss, but can you disrupt the balance of the hitter? Escobar did a great job against Perez that first matchup. Had great contact, but a lot of fly balls. There's that rise ball.
Perez hits it hard. Great scoop by McManus, trying to go to second. Woolley beats it out. So a couple of first-inning base runners now for the top-seeded Aggies.
In this situation, you have your shortstop covering. You can see where her foot is on the bag, on the back side of the bag. Also,
here comes the 6th-year senior from Long Beach, California. Turned in a fantastic first season with the Aggies. She was a premier slugger at San Diego State the last couple of years. What an X-factor she was in the portal. 1-0 to Barber that's popped up. This one's near the dugout, and Crane makes the play for the second out.
Talked about changing looks, changing levels. Liberty knows Texas A&M, not only have they seen Escobar, but they've gone back on that game. They've watched film, they've seen the footage. You cannot have quite the same game plan. There has to be some surprises. Going low in the zone with a hitter like Mac Barbara, getting her to pop up, that is big.
No hotter bat in the Aggie order than Amari Harper. 6 out of 9 this weekend, has knocked in 11 runs. Partner, we're in the first inning. You can feel there is a tenseness in the air. There's some drama here. The 0-1 pitch is high. Runners on for the Aggies, who are the visiting team for this first game, with Liberty having the upper hand in the regional. So 1-1 to the junior. Big swing and a miss. And so Escobar, who has turned in 2 quality outings this weekend in wins against Marist and Texas A&M. 1 strike away from a scoreless top half of the first. That's fouled away.
I'm noticing Escobar, she's thrown a lot of innings the past 2 weekends. In her conference tournament, threw almost over 300 pitches. This tournament already, she has been the main ace. She has been one holding the ball, getting those corners. That's going to be key.
Harper takes a called 3rd strike. Inning is over. And so Escobar strands a pair. Liberty hits for the first time in the home half. That's next. KK Madry, explosive in the box yesterday. Was a double shy of the cycle, hit the 2-run blast that put Liberty up 8-5. Top half of that 6th inning, she was a catalyst at the plate yesterday.
Absolutely. I mean, what she is able to do, and again, we see it in the middle of the lineup, the heart of the lineup. There's a lot of run production there. Paige Dor, she's also been really productive. A couple of RBIs as well.
That is the senior from the Woodlands, Texas. All-American from a season ago. She's been the frontline starter for this A&M team, Emily Kennedy. For a 2nd straight day, she faces Liberty. First pitch to Savannah Woodard, the veteran, and she lines that one foul. What's this start like for Kennedy 1 day after facing this team?
I've seen a lot of growth from her throughout her career at Texas A&M. We've seen her have, as a youngster, have those innings where something happens and you'll see her fall apart. She'll have those oopsie innings. As she's gotten older, she responds not only with those innings, but after a loss. Almost got us up here in the booth.
That would have been the first foul ball.
I'll be honest, I wasn't ready. I was going to say I wasn't. But your
I lost track of everything you were saying for those 2.5 seconds there. I was ready. 1-2, that's away.
Lefty, please. But with Kennedy, she hasn't lost, and then in her next appearance, faced another loss. She's immediately responded, and I think it's worth noting.
Now this is Woodard, serves this one to deep right center field. It's a first inning solo shot for Savannah Woodard. Liberty sets the tone.
Liberty has not come to play around. Texas A&M, they put some pressure in the top of the first. It was felt in this stadium. What better response than to come up your very first batter? A hard hit home run out in center field. Almost hit the pool guys out there. But a statement right there, as Dot Richardson said. We tasted the appetizer, we want the entree.
Kennedy allowed 2 homers to this Liberty team yesterday, and she allows the leadoff homer to Woodard today. Gets ahead of Rachel Roupe. This is the player of the year in the conference. You see the really eye-popping numbers this season for the senior from Sharpsburg, Maryland. This Liberty batting order, everybody has contributed in each of their first 2 games. Roupe drills one deep to right, and there's enough yard for Mathis. So 1 gone, and a couple of hard hit balls for the Flames in the first inning.
Whenever you see hitters back-to-back, I mean, just absolutely rip. As a pitching coach, it's not a reason to panic. Again, you're in the first inning. Emily Kennedy, one of the best pitchers in the country, but you do know they're on to your plan. It's time to mix things up.
This is Bryn McManus, hits one sharply over to Woolley. So a couple of outs now for Kennedy, who is the program veteran, back-to-back 20-win seasons for the senior from the Woodlands, Texas. Last year an All-American, posted a sub-2 ERA. This season was very solid as well. Another all-conference season for Kennedy. Someone who has a whole lot of Trisha Ford's trust. These two have been together for 3 years now.
I think it's true, not just of her, but a lot of the seniors that Ford has. She's in her 3rd year here at Texas A&M, but she's built a lot of trust. She's established a system.
1-0 pitch right back to the circle. Liberty is on top after 1. Earlier in the week, it'll have to beat Liberty twice in order to get to the Super Regionals next weekend.
We got to speak to Coach Ford. One thing that she harped on over and over with her team throughout this year is culture. We want to build a culture. She's done that with her seniors. But what better way to show culture than whenever your back's against the wall, your season is on the line, and your team steps up. We did a good job in that first half of the inning. They weren't able to convert, but just putting pressure on Liberty.
Had a couple of runners on, but to your point, left them both stranded. 6, 7, and 8 due up against Elena Escobar. KK DeMint has turned in a fabulous freshman season. She's been on base 8 times in her 10 plate appearances, and add another trip. Trying to stretch it to 2. It's a leadoff double for KK DeMint.
That is something that we have seen all throughout this regional. This ground, this field, it plays hard. Over the head of Rachel Crane. She's not able to get a glove on that. But whenever you read that as a runner, you see it down the line, gets over the head of your third baseman. It's almost, you treat it like a slap. All right, that's an automatic 2. I have to push that.
5 hits now for DeMint. And here comes one of the program vets. That's Allie Enright, the senior. Nicole, it is hot, it is warm. We've seen that high chop, to your point. Enright pops it up, shallow left, and Dorr calls off Watley. There's one away. I got it at 89 degrees here, first pitch. That's actually pretty balmy relative to what we have seen the last couple of days. Temperatures have been in the mid-90s. Last couple of days, temperature feels like it's around 97 right now. This will be Frankie Vrajel, who hits against Escobar in the 8-hole now. Fouls it back, so the count evens. Texas A&M has been in this position before this season. So 4 times they've played the true doubleheader. 2 games in 1 day. There's a swing and a base hit into left. Stop sign at third. Runners at the corners. Well, point being, they have swept the 4 other doubleheaders they have played this season. They're going to have to turn this into a doubleheader. Down a run here in the first. Make it the second, but they've got a couple of runners on.
Texas A&M, they're picking up where they left off back in the first. So being able to just get solid hits. That's what Liberty did against them just yesterday. Have those solid pass-the-bat hits, not trying to overswing.
Runner from first takes off. And so 2 are in scoring position with 1 away. A&M could potentially swing in front here with a base hit. This is in the air out to right. Runner ready to tag. Roupe makes the catch. Throw to the plate. Double play! Liberty gets it done! And the inning is over. What a throw from the player of the year in right field. Rachel Roupe is saying, "Hey, you like me now?"
I mean, this is textbook coming in, getting this throw, and what a tag over at home from Savannah Jesse. Liberty says, not today, not right now. We're going to keep this momentum in our dugout. Thank you very much. 1-0 Liberty. And of course, who else is up after a massive defensive play but KK Madry?
One of the senior tone setters from Noonan, Georgia. It's outside of Atlanta. 4 for 7 this tournament. Was a double shy of the cycle in their 8-5 KO of Texas A&M yesterday. You know, she started in this league, spent a season at LSU, transferred away from the program, and has been one of the better players for Liberty for years. So it's 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Flames against Emily Kennedy, who allowed the solo homer to Woodard in the first.
So it's fun getting to know KK Madry throughout this regional. She talks a lot about how the pressure's just off of her. She said big struggle for her was confidence. How do I learn how to be confident? I feel like that's something that a lot of athletes, that is the key question. And she goes, I realize I don't even have to focus on being confident or not confident. All I had to do was focus on being in the moment, being here where my feet are. She said the pressure's off.
Draws the leadoff walk. The career season for Madry. It continues. She'd love it to continue into next weekend. You know, Nicole, we could feel that strong bond amongst the players, strong cultures for both of these programs when we met with both teams the other day. Paige Dorr, flash the bunt, throw down to second. Madry is out. Mac Barbara.
And this is huge. You want to carry that momentum on. But like we just heard, that's a second challenge used by head coach Dot. Not able to use it until later on.
First pitch swinging, Paige Dorr bounces it to Dement. She mishandles it. Madry scores. And so the challenge pays off. One pitch later, Paige Dorr, one of their clutch hitters, knocks in another Liberty run.
These two teams are going up to each other. They are going back and forth. This one, it's just a hard hit ball. That one, I think Dement, whenever she was going to field that, might have wanted to switch over, turn that into a backhand. Her body wasn't able to get in front of that ball in time. Off the glove, and whenever you have that speed from KK Madry, you have to make those clean plays. Clean defense has been the downfall of a lot of teams here in this regional.
It's 2-0 Liberty. Nobody out here in this second. This is Rachel Crane, who's hitless this weekend. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Brett Higgins over at first base says that she did not offer. By the way, you just heard from Mike Burrell. That's our home plate umpire. Higgins over at first. Ron White, the second base umpire. And Garrett Knowles is at third.
And I think this is where your team relies on Emily Kennedy. The maturity that she's been able to grow into, the experience.
It's the 152nd appearance in the circle of her career. The senior from right here in Texas. She has been ultra dependable. Last season, the All-American. 3-1 pitch to Crane, cut at and missed. She's only got a handful of losses this year, and to your point from previously, 2-0 after her losses this season. But that is the second walk of the inning. So all three Liberty hitters have reached.
I think that was a quick reset on the pitch clock.
Liberty advances to its first ever Super Regional with one win today. Savannah Jesse looked like she did offer at that pitch. Yes, she did. So the count's quickly 0-1. Liberty has the upper hand after it beat the #1 overall seed yesterday in this double elimination format regional round. So Texas A&M has got to beat Liberty twice today to get back to the Supers. And the Flames have set the tone early with a first inning run. Paige Dorr just knocked in the second. After the Rachel Crane walk, Peters comes in. Jessie takes a strike on the inside edge.
Tell you what, as comfortable as Liberty looked in that box, we're seeing Savannah Jessie. It just looks like she's second guessing on that first bunt, on that hard pitch on the inside half.
Launches the 1-2 down the line. Long run for Mathis. She's got it for the first out. So Jessie is retired. The 9-hitter is Savannah Watley.
Number 6, Savannah Watley.
Watley's been productive. 3 for 6 at the plate this regional. Newcomer of the year in Conference USA. Previously at Oregon State, hits the portal, and has been a very productive bat in this Liberty order. That's off the outside edge, so she's got a favorable count. So while it has been a return for Peters, it has very much been a return to the diamond for Watley, who missed a couple of weeks. She's dealt with several different injuries, and her appearance on Friday against Marist was her first in more than 2 weeks. So she steps right back in and has been very effective at the plate. Liberty trying to do some more damage in the second. 2-1, and Watley spoils that one foul. Peters, first year with the program, Nicole. She put up some really impressive numbers early on. Had a complete game win against Princeton earlier in the season, pitched well against a couple of SEC programs, but then missed almost 2 months with a back injury. 2-2 down the line, but it's foul.
Watley's starting to move through the box a little bit. She's been standing in pretty much every at-bat so far this regional. But whenever you have speed like Peters and you're trying to make that adjustment on the fly, sometimes you go to the slap.
So where's Peters going here? 2-2 pitch coming. That's popped up, shallow left. Mathis has got it. 2 away. So Peters has retired the first 2 hitters she's faced. 7 innings live is going to take you around to the best live action the rest of today as our regional finals unfold. Don't miss a minute of the action. You can catch it all, every big moment, on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Texas A&M not the only national seed that's got to win twice today. There are several. Savannah Woodard back in the box. Led off in the first with her 10th home run of the season. And you see what she has done. 5 of 9 at the plate in this regional. Talk about a way, Nicole, to set the tone.
I mean, Savannah Woodard, there was no doubt about it, no question from her whenever she stepped into the box that first at-bat. But the second one, Cindy Peters, she has been dominant since she has stepped in. Aggressive, attacking. You can almost feel these Liberty hitters walking on their heels a little bit. But she's patient. You have to pitch around her. You can't give her too much to hit. She's proven that already. 3-0 here.
That's off the outside edge, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Barbara didn't like the call. Bases are loaded now for Rachel Roupe. And Nicole, you know all about that. Remember, yesterday Liberty scores 8 runs, all of them earned against Emily Kennedy, 11 hits as well. And they were on her just about one time through the order. So as a hitter, it can work both ways. If you're facing a pitcher that's dealing, you're dying to see somebody else. On the flip side, even just seeing just that subtle change,
I mean, that's
can
a
maybe throw you off.
huge win from Liberty, chasing out Emily Kennedy in the second inning. The more arms that you run through, the more success it says you're having.
Bases are loaded. Conference USA Player of the Year on the right side. Takes that right down the middle for a strike. Rachel Roupe in her senior season, she's thrived. Flew out to right her first time up. Drills this one. It's got some carry. There it goes! A grand slam! The Flames, red hot start. Who saw this coming?
I'll tell you, Liberty, they believed in themselves. This has been a long time coming for them. And this pitch over the heart of the plate, the second strike in a row, that shows a lot of white. You see it once, you don't swing, you regret it. But a hitter like Rachel Roupe, you throw it to her a second time, 2 outs, bases loaded. She does what she does best. She's a gamer. Grand slam.
That is humongous. Bryn McManus, number 3 hitter in the order, takes that pitch a little high. And that is officially, we're still early in this bout, but that is a staggering knockdown here early in this regional final. It's now a 5-run top half of the 6th inning. Dorr scored the first run with the RBI single, and after several walks, Rachel Roupe clears the bases. That one's in for a strike.
Seen a lot of chaos happening around the country with all the games. LSU not even making it to the regional final. That's just one example, but there are a lot of games out there going on where great softball is being played. And that softball doesn't know ranking. It doesn't know who's supposed to win. It doesn't know who's hosting. It just knows the gamers. And right now, Liberty, they are gamers. They're saying, bring it on. I want it.
This one's hit high down the line, but twisting foul. Mathis going to run out of space. And Nicole, it's a great point you bring up. If you're looking at it from the outside looking in, of course, this is a pretty stunning looking score, at least a couple innings in. However, Dot Richardson, there she is. She said, we asked her, is this your strongest team? She goes, oh yeah.
Oh
this
yeah.
is the best team that I've coached in my 12 years here. And there's another walk. That is now the 4th walk in the inning that Liberty has drawn. 2 off of Kennedy previously. And now Peters, after retiring 2 hitters, she walked Woodard, allowed the grand slam to Roupe. And the 9th hitter is coming to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning for Liberty. This is Alyssa Henall. It's an uneasy position to be in if you are Texas A&M, the #1 overall seed. The 1 seed has never failed to make it out of the regionals since we went to this tournament format in 2005. And that one runs tight to Hennold, so is she making a case that that pitch grazed her elbow guard? There she goes.
Mike Barbara shaking her head, no, that didn't touch her at all. Feels like things are compounding a little bit for the Aggies. I don't know about that one.
Immediately here, 6-0 the score. Munnerlyn, she's the freshman from Los Gatos, California. fairly limited action. Faces Madry. And she is in the circle now for the first time since facing Tennessee back on May 2nd. So it has been a minute. They appealed down to the third base umpire, and they ruled that Madry did not offer at that pitch. So a 1-0 coming now. That's in for a strike. Madry drew that walk. You see the dirt on the uniform. She stole a base earlier in the frame. This one kicks away from Barbara, and he got two in scoring position. Boy, this has been an eventful bottom of the second inning.
Madry, you look back at the second review that Dot Richardson did. We're talking, man, it's early in the game to be getting a review call.
Oh, that hits Madry. That caught her on that inside leg. And the bases will be loaded for the second time this inning.
Aggies, the pitching staff for the Aggies, they have been struggling to find that strike zone. I will say it is a tight strike zone, but you cannot be missing 3-4 inches off the plate. And this one, it's too far in the inside, hits Madry on that back leg right above the knee. I can say from experience, that spot is tender. She's gonna be okay, but there's gonna be a pretty ugly bruise within a day or two.
Munnerlyn waits to face Paige Dorr. Nicole, you've got the #1 seed here, down 6-0. It has been difficult to get out of this second inning. Fair to say Liberty has got a little bit of a mental edge right now.
If you're Liberty and you're on this side, you have 2 outs, you've managed to get bases loaded again. If you are able to get one more run across, one more run, that is suffocating. That is momentum, just staying in your dugout. You scored a run off of every single pitcher that's coming. That is your goal, that is your intention. And if you're A&M, get this out, chip away. Your offense is good enough, you can chip away.
That's on the ground, over to first, inning is over. A big moment for Munnerlyn games in order to advance to the Super Regionals. And we start the top of the third with the top of the order. Kennedy Powell fouls that bunt attempt off. She faces Elena Escobar once again. It has been an eventful afternoon in Bryan College Station. It has been an eventful weekend, as it typically is around the nation in this round. Rolled over to Woodard, one quick out. Coco Woolley to hit next.
One thing that Liberty has done so well, Kennedy Powell, she gets a lot of things going for the Aggie offense. You get her, you get Coco Woolley 1-2 back-to-back. Whenever Kennedy Powell scores, Texas A&M is 35-5.
Into shallow left, here comes Dorr. Trapped it, could not make the play, and Woolley is at second. So A&M has a runner in scoring position for a third straight inning.
Coco Woolley doing what Coco Woolley does best. This is just a choke and hold. She saw and read her defense. Infield in. You had Paige Dorr a little bit steeper out in the outfield, giving her some space. If you're able as a slapper to finesse that over the head of the shortstop, that is gold. And you get the outfielder to die for it, automatic double.
Very dangerous hitter on Perez. Lifts this one deep to center. Woolley ready to tag. Madry makes the catch. Throw is late to third. So there are 2 outs for Liberty, but A&M has the runner at third base. Mac Barbara is coming up. Boy, Perez, she has been, how many times have we seen that? Just underneath so many pitches this weekend. She's now 2 of 10 at the plate. Mac Barbara knocked in 5 runs in the win yesterday against Marist. Puts it through the left side, a base hit. Texas A&M is on the board in the third.
And this is what A&M is going to have to do to be able to come back. We're still early in this game. The score feels like otherwise. There's been a lot of things going on, but Mac Barbara reads this shift perfectly. This is low and away on that corner. Savannah Watley is cheated up the middle a few steps, and there is no opportunity to make a play on that, and she is fired up right now. That's what she's saying to her team. One hit at a time. Can you pass a bat? One hitter, one hitter, one hitter. That is what A&M, their mindset is going to have to be.
Texas A&M only had 5 hits yesterday against Elena Escobar, and they've got 5 hits here through a little more than 2 innings. Now Amari Harper swings and lifts it. Medium left. Orr's got it lined up. A&M gets one. They needed something to go their way. Liberty still in front, middle of the 3rd.
Mac Barbara, she's not a true catcher. Stepped up. She has done a phenomenal job.
Yes. Especially down the stretch of the season in the most critical of times. They close out the season with a series win against Tennessee, then emphatic victories against South Carolina and Texas in the SEC tournament before the championship game was rained out. Rachel Crane strikes this one deep to center, and Allie Enright runs it down. So Kate Munnerlyn has faced 3 hitters. She's retired 2 and hit 1. She is the 3rd pitcher that Trisha Ford has used. Liberty chased the All-American from a year ago, Emily Kennedy, in the 2nd inning. Just about everybody she faced was able to reach. She gave up a homer. And so A&M is improvising, if you will, the rest of this one. Down 6-1 in a game in which, if it loses, their season is over in the regional round. Savannah Jesse waiting on a 1-0 now from the freshman Munnerlyn. That's there for a strike.
Nice off speed, just tossed in, disrupting the timing, and I think that's what we didn't see from the first 2 pitchers. We didn't see a lot of off speed, especially whenever you're on the scouting report. These hitters are familiar with you already. What can I do that feels unpredictable, out of sequence from what they're expecting?
It's now a favorable count for Jesse, who turned in an all-conference season this year. And she has been really strong defensively behind the plate. She's got a strong arm. She's thrown out a whole bunch of runners this year. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Waits on that 3-1 with the changeup. Fools her. Powell across her body. 2 gone.
Powell get a good jump, good read on that one. Letting her momentum, carrying her over, but also knowing you don't have to overthrow that to put that ball. It's a quick 1-2. This has been the most efficient inning so far for Texas A&M.
Watley after 3. Ford has orchestrated this Aggie resurgence. #1 overall seed for the program, first time ever. This program had a couple of so-so years before she took over. Seasons where they were finishing below 500 in league play, and they have changed that. Here's a big swing. KK DeMent hits the scoreboard. Solo homer. The rookie goes yard for a 2nd straight game.
KK DeMent, the rookie. She's got the bubbles going here in Texas A&M Davis-Diamond Stadium. In this pitch, over the middle, elevated. Trisha Ford was just talking about how this offense needs to be aggressive against a pitcher like Elena Escobar. And whenever she leaves those balls over the middle of the plate, a hitter like KK DeMent, she's going to attack. That has been their MO. They have been swinging early in counts.
Every time Texas A&M scores, they blast the bubble machines. And so now they're getting a little use out of them here the last couple of innings. 15 home runs in this freshman season for the Selma, California native, KK DeMent. This is Allie Enright. That's fouled back to the screen, so she must protect with 2 strikes. DeMent, such high upside. You would think in her career, the rest of the way with the Aggies, that misses outside. And a 2-for-2 start for DeMent, by the way. Escobar, the senior from outside of Nashville. Misfires that time badly, high and away, so the count evens. 4th inning of work for Escobar. She has won the last 5 games she's pitched in. 2-2 is hammered, but that's yanked foul. And so a couple of these A&M hitters are seeing it pretty good here, second time through the order.
And if you're A&M, the mindset, we talked about this last inning, in this dugout is chip away. We have a lot of game left. We know who we are. 1 run at a time.
Slow tap to the left side. Enright beats it out in a wide throw. Enright going to second. A&M's got another runner in scoring position.
That one right there, I think it's just depth positioning. Just a little bit of miscue between Rachel Crane, the third baseman, and Savannah Watley. She was cheated deep up the middle. It's a slow roller towards shortstop, and you could see Crane trying to get into that position early. Rushes a throw, an overthrow. And Texas A&M, they are right back in it. They still have a ways to go, but we're only in the 4th inning. And Liberty, I feel like for the first time all game, they're feeling the pressure, not just from the offense, but from this crowd as well. But if you're Liberty in this circle right now, you can see Dot Richardson. She's talking to her team, talking to her defense. The conversation is centered around that happened. How quickly can we let it go? Here's our situation. Here's where we go. Let's move on. We knew that this was going to be a fight. Better be ready. And I mean, 17 comeback games this season from Texas A&M. They are fighters. They're used to doubleheaders.
Frankie Vrajel gets jammed, and there's 1 out. That's the first here in the 4th. Boy, for the first time since the opening inning, there was a little life and intensity at this stadium. Kelsey Mathis, 9-hitter, to step in for the second time. She flew out to Rachel Roupe back in the second. That started the double play. Roupe threw out a runner at the plate. And that was a hit for Enright. I thought she was going to beat out that throw anyway, so it's a hit and an error on the third baseman, Rachel Crane. Just about every Aggie hitter has put the ball into play today against Escobar. She's only got the 1 strikeout. Now the count's 2 balls and a strike. Escobar, though, has not walked anybody. She's got a very good strikeout to walk rate. It's top 25 in the nation. But she's facing a top 20 offense here for the second time in 2 days. That's in the air out to right. Roupe's got it. And Enright is not going to test her arm this time.
It's worth noting that the 2 players who haven't gotten on base not put the ball in play, but haven't gotten on base. Kennedy Powell and Amari Harper, 2 big bats for Texas A&M.
Powell takes that for a strike. Powell was moved to the leadoff spot in late March. She has really excelled. Lines this one into left. Dorr scoops it up, misplays it. A&M scores another run. Powell puts it into play and gets it done.
This is where Texas A&M is dangerous. You give them an inch, you let them get their foot inside the door, and they are going to bust it wide open. Powell does a nice job keeping her hands high, insiding out this inside elevated pitch from Escobar. She knows in right the speed that she has, being able to be on second. Clean defense right now is going to be key for Liberty. We had the miscue throw. We had Paige Dorr just on that play. Bobble it off her glove. And now you have Kennedy Powell again and Coco Woolley up to bat.
Woolley bounces it back up the middle. Backhanded stop by Woodard. Throw is late. Here's a play at the plate. Runner is safe. Woolley trying to get to second. And we have got, by the way, the signal of an obstruction call. Right now, the run has scored. Liberty is out of challenges, so it's a 6-4 game. Runner was safe at second, so that is going to nullify the obstruction call anyway. On a bouncing ball to second, Liberty gets, or pardon me, A&M gets a run. They're within 2.
And it looked like McManus was not expecting that run to come around.
And now you got the heavy hitter. This is Maya Perez.
Now remember what I said earlier, whenever Kennedy Powell scores, A&M is 35-5. Whenever she scores more than once, they're 18-1. Softball's all about momentum. A&M, they went from being down 6-1. They're back in this game. This is a 6-4 ball game. And a heavy hitter with one swing, she could tie this back up.
Perez splash it. There it goes. Goodbye. We're tied.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Maya Perez, an absolute blast. Elena Escobar has been throwing a phenomenal regional, but whenever you throw that often to these same hitters, they know what to expect. This is the pitch that has been getting Elena Escobar time and time again on Maya Perez. Maya Perez has been popping up so close. That barrel on that swing, so flat. Through the ball, the extension. How sweet is this home run to tie up this ball game? And this crowd, they are right in the middle of it. Your Liberty, there has to be some action in the pen. There have been too many hard hit balls back to back to back. And we talked about Escobar, how deep into this regional she's gone. A lot of innings logged last weekend in their conference tournament. And Texas A&M, their hitters are great at making adjustments. They are familiar with this pitcher.
Mac Barbara with the bases empty and a brand new ball game. Knotted up at 6. Most of these runs scoring with 2 outs.
Just a deep breath there from Barbara. Resetting, lowering that heart rate, allowing herself making very quick decisions.
Swinging on 3-0, that's fouled back. Barbara waits on it, drills it, it's gone! A scoreboard shot! A&M on a rampage in the fourth. They've swung in front just like that.
It is bubble mania here at Davis Diamond. Getting it up here in the booth. There's so many. This happened last night.
It's a 6-run top of the fourth. New pitcher is in the circle for Liberty. For just the second time this weekend, this is Paige Bachman. Very reliable 6th-year senior.
Paige Bachman, I mean, you're going to see a lot of innings out of her, 108 and a third. But living up to this standard that Liberty has established for themselves this season. What a way to come in. A lot of momentum in that Aggie dugout. You have one of the most lethal hitters, the only one in this Aggie lineup that has not gotten on base today.
Surprisingly.
0-2
to Harper, that's down the line. Long run for Dorr, dives, makes a great catch. So the inning is over, but the Aggies have changed the complexion of this one. They erase a 6-run deficit, score 5 up here against Kate Munnerlyn. Woodard and Roupe have both gone deep. And then McManus expected to hit 3rd in the inning.
With Munnerlyn, we've seen her go in tight to these lefty Liberty hitters. Kind of expecting game plan here. Either sitting hard or sitting soft. That's what we just saw. The hard sequence, hard in. And then right off of that, right away on that same plane, off speed. As a hitter, it can be so deceptive. You have to choose one. If you try to sit in between, you're going to be off for both timings.
There's a very similar pitch, so it counts 2 balls and a strike. Coach Richardson just mentioned it. Some of the off-speed here coming from the freshman from California. That's Munnerlyn. Woodard now in the driver's seat. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Woodard led off the first inning with the solo homer off of Kennedy. She drew a walk in the second and scored on Roupe's grand slam. Momentum swings back and forth in this one. And that's a leadoff walk for Liberty. Rachel Roupe is coming up.
Just the patience, I love that. As we've mentioned it before, Liberty, they have been in this situation time after time after time. Finally in the driver's seat. A win this game would take them to a Super.
Munnerlyn starts off Bryn McManus with that pitch on the outside edge for a strike.
I'm Liberty. The amount of off speeds that I have seen thrown in for Munnerlyn, I'm sitting off speed the entire at bat. I'm slowing down my timing. I'm starting later in her pitch, getting ready for that one.
There's a swing, a high drive, but that's playable here for Enright in center. So Munnerlyn does face the minimum. We're done with 4. A&M by 1. Back in front. So they go back to back. Again today with the stakes a little higher. And now, Nicole, we start the 5th inning as we push deeper into this one. Paige Bachman, the senior from Virginia, starts her first full inning against 6, 7, and 8 in the Texas A&M order. This is KK DeMint. Homered her last time up against Escobar. That's in for a strike.
She was the one that got that inning going. I mean, you could tell from the moment that KK DeMint hit that ball, there was something going on within that Aggie dugout. There had been a shift. There had been a conversation.
A&M had runners on in the first 2 innings, and they were scoreless each time. Escobar was able to throw a 0 up on the board. Then she allowed 1 run in the 3rd, and most of that damage in the 4th inning. Matter of fact, all of it. Just about every Aggie hitter has put the ball into play. A much better approach today against Bachman, or pardon me, Escobar, after pitcher of the year in the conference held A&M to just the 5 hits in that 8-5 Liberty win. So here we are pushing deeper into this one. High stakes regional final. #1 overall seed is in front for the first time today. DeMint fouls it back. So we'll have a payoff pitch coming again.
This is A&M. They are fighting to keep their season alive. Paige Bachman, the #2 for this Liberty pitching staff.
DeMint hits it hard through the left side. That's a base hit for the Aggies. So while we got a moment, let's remind you about tonight's Sunday night baseball matchup. Subway Series finale between Pete Alonso and Juan Soto and the Mets, and Aaron Judge and the Yankees. First pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Subway Series. The 2 rivals have split the first 2. Big one later. Here is a big blast off of Valley Enright's bat. Off the bottom of the fence. Late jump for DeMint. She had to let that one fall down. Enright gets into second. 2 hard hit balls off of Bachman.
Going into this game, these 2 hitters back-to-back, they have been causing most of A&M's damage. It's no surprise here. Back-to-back, continuing that momentum. Paige Bachman has a drop ball, and the biggest struggle that she has faced all season is getting it down in the zone. Whenever she leaves it elevated, that is what happens.
These Aggie hitters are dialed in right now at the plate. Vrajel takes a strike. She's 1 for 2 today, singled back in the 2nd. Whole lot of momentum on the Aggie side. It's off the outside edge, so it's a favorable count here for Vrajel. Nicole, if this 1 seed A&M wants to get back to the Super Regionals, it's got to win 2 games today. Liberty, of course, has the upper hand. It beat the Aggies yesterday 8-5. And so it just needs 1 win to reach the program's first ever Super Regional. Infield is in. That 3-1 pitch is high. She walked her.
Rachel Train just walking over. This is your season.
Bachman trying to find the zone here. That one misses low. It's a bit of a mental edge right now for the Aggies. Bases are loaded. Kelsey Mathis takes that pitch inside. And you got the left side of the diamond just shouting some words of encouragement here for Bachman. Fans are letting her have it. There's been a number of pitches that have missed out of the zone. That 3-0 is low. Trying to find the zone. That's there for a strike. Crane has come over on a number of occasions there from third base to just try to settle the veteran down. 3-1. That's ball 4. So A&M scores another run. Its lead is now 8-6. What do you do here if you're Liberty?
Honestly, I look to my bullpen. You look back last inning, and even with a pitcher like Escobar, who is your ace, undisputed, whenever things got carried away, I was expecting a change to happen. I was expecting something to happen before A&M ran away with it. Change didn't happen.
Back to the top of the order, it's Kennedy Powell.
That 6-run fourth inning. Right now it's just one. If I am Dot in Liberty, I'm getting my arms warm, getting them ready to go.
Bachman has allowed all 4 batters that have faced her to reach. Now it's 5 in a row. 1 run comes home. Vrajel gets the wave and then slams on the brakes. RBI single for Powell. She's driven in a run now and back-to-back at-bats.
A&M dialed in. This is a drop ball on that outer half of the corner. Not a bad pitch from Bachman, but the way Powell is able to keep that backhand extended, keeps that barrel back for as long as possible and extends through. That's what allows her to hit that ball hard up the middle. Almost a little too hard, not able to score more than 1.
Coco Woolley back to the circle. Bachman gets the out at the plate. That is the first out of the inning. But now here comes the heart of the order.
Coco Woolley has come up. She's made it first 3. This is the first time they've been able to retire. That tells you how dominant that she's been able to be.
Number 24,
Maya Perez is at the plate with the bases loaded. Texas A&M has scored 9 unanswered runs now the last 3 innings. 1 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th to pull ahead. And they got 2 more here that are in. Bases are full. Just off the outside edge. You got some action in the Liberty bullpen now. That's in for a strike. Perez, the 2-run blast to straightaway center. This one tied the score back in the 4th before Mac Barbara put A&M ahead a few moments later with the solo shot. 2-1 is tucked foul.
For Perez, she's been working so hard this tournament, facing a lot of up-in-the-zone pitchers. She'd just been missing a lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls. She was saying, I'm trying to get my swing to be level, get that barrel flat. Well, now she's facing a drop ball pitcher. She's going to have to get underneath with that barrel again.
Chopper to the right side. Woodard's throw. Safe is the call. It looked like the throw while it was bounced. When you slow it down like that. Let me ask you this. Let me put it this way. If that one did go to a review, do you think they overturn that?
I would.
Yeah.
From what I saw, I would have overturned it.
It's an error, by the way, on Woodard, the second baseman. So the throwing error allows the runner to score 10-6. You got to think the reason why Burrell even signaled safe was his interpretation or his viewpoint there was the ball was coming free from Jesse's mitt. Mac Barber is now up. 10 unanswered for the Aggies. And that's right, you're right. It's just a tough break for Liberty, that's all. The Aggies are continuing to pour it on now. Base is still full. Barbara hammers it on a line to Roupe. They might get the runner doubled up. And they do at first. Wow, McManus, a little toe tap there on the base. The double play retires the side, but A&M scores 3 more. Halfway through the 5th, 10-6. The regional round is going to be a little tougher for Texas A&M. They lost to this Liberty team yesterday, so that means in this double elimination format, it's got to win 2 games today. And the Aggies, they're hot. They've scored 10 unanswered. Bottom of the 5th here. And it's the lefty, Kate Munnerlyn, who plunks Alyssa Henault to get the inning started.
But he's calling her back to home, saying that she leans into it. Let's watch the replay. I didn't see her lean into this one at all. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you see it there.
But to me, it looks like as she's standing, she's just turning away.
Is that a fair ball? Now the home plate umpire, Mike Burrell, puts his arms up. So that is a foul ball. So now the count's 2 balls and a strike. So this has been an interesting at-bat already for Alyssa Henault, who was hit back in the 2nd. Counts 3 balls and a strike.
Hit again, this at-bat, called back. A very close foul ball, to being fair.
3-1, that one drops in for a strike. Well, if you're Liberty, we're now in the late innings, and it has allowed 10 unanswered runs to A&M. 4, 5, and 6 at the plate. Getting one back here is critical. That's a base hit for Henault. So she ultimately does reach base. KK Madry is coming up. This has been a wild, back and forth, intense, exciting regional final game 1. Will we have a second game? If Texas A&M wins, it forces that game 7. And then it's win or go home for both teams. Madry trying to bunt her way on. She's safe. KK Madry on base for a 3rd time today. Walked, was hit, and now she's got a hit.
This one, Madry just angling her barrel, knowing she's going to get a pitch on that inside half, making the play happen. I'm not going to allow you to just continue to pound the zone inside. KK Madry said, I'm going to take this one with me, make Motherland make a play, especially as a lefty down that first base line. That is a very hard throw to make.
So now that is the first hit that Munnerlyn has allowed since she came out of the bullpen in the 2nd. She tossed 2 scoreless innings in the 3rd and 4th, faced the minimum in each inning. Here's Paige Dorr, scored a run in the 2nd with a base hit. And now time is called. Trisha Ford walking out to the circle. We have seen just incredible effort, determination. This has been a very competitive game. 2 teams that have got no back down in them.
I mean, we said this from the very beginning, before a single game was even played. Liberty, they're always a tough seed. To be a 2 seed at the #1 team in the country. Obviously, took that, had a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They knew that they were destined to be here.
This is what Paige Dorr did yesterday against the All-American Emily Kennedy. took her deep, and it was a laser over the right field wall. What does she do here? That was a home run that put Liberty within striking range. They were down 5-3 going to that 6th inning, ultimately scored 5 runs to beat the top-seeded Aggies. Swing and a liner, runners freeze. There's 1 out. That win yesterday is why Liberty has the upper hand today. It's a double elimination format. Liberty won its first 2 games. A&M lost its second. And so it would have to hand Liberty back-to-back losses today to earn the right to go to the Supers. Rachel Crane, the veteran third baseman. She flew out to center in the 3rd, walked and scored a run on that Rachel Roupe grand slam in the 2nd. So Munnerlyn keeps it on the outside edge. The count evens.
Munnerlyn is doing a fantastic job. We heard Dot Richardson talk about this last inning. That curveball off-speed combo, she tunnels them so well. Hat pitch right there. It is so easy as a hitter to get fooled, see that curveball, see the movement, and go, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden you're way out in front. You lose control of your timing. But I've really seen Liberty this inning zone in on that curveball. That's the pitch they're hunting.
Swing, it's a bouncer to second, flip to Woolley, turns to first, double play. That is the 2nd double play this infield has turned. In the regional final, will it be the first of 2 today at the Bryan College Station Regional? If Liberty wins this game, it advances to its first ever Super Regional. Now, it would have to erase a deficit in the final couple innings. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, after getting sent to the elimination side of the bracket yesterday by these Flames, they've got to beat them twice today in order to get back to the Supers for a 2nd straight season. Line drive off of Amari Harper's bat. That is snared by Woodard. And a much better start to the 6th inning for Paige Bachman in the circle after she allowed 3 runs in the top half of the 5th. With Nicole Mendez, 2-time national champ in Oklahoma. Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Liberty scored the first 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Texas A&M is dialed in of late at the plate. It scored 10 in the last 3 innings, a run in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th, and then 3 more in the top half of the 5th. This is KK Dement, who's yet to be retired today. So she's a triple shy of the cycle. She's got the homer, the double, and the base hit. That solo blast in the 4th just swung momentum back into A&M's direction. That was the big inning. 1-1 is up in the air. This is out to shallow right. So the first 2 have been retired in the 6th. Allie Enright hits next.
Looks like Bachman, she's been able to just collect her breath, reset. And also, look, there's a couple of hard hits by Liberty. The longer you're on offense, the longer your pitcher has time to reset. And I think that's what she needed, just to catch her breath, get back in here.
The first 5 hitters reached against her in that top half of the 5th inning, and you're right, she didn't look, she looked a little tight, looked a little shaken, but this is a senior who has been one of the better pitchers in Conference USA all season long. Top 6, top 10 in the league, I should say, in just about everything. ERA, innings pitched, all the important categories. Here's a 2-0 to Enright, who dented the right field wall her last time up. Blasted one off the wall, hit halfway up the fence.
Close as you can get. I bet you a teammate said weight room. I know it. I mean, that was top of the wall, as close without going over.
I thought that one was going. Ultimately winds up being a double for Enright, who's 2 for 3 today. She's now 6 for 10 at the plate in the series. She has really gotten going. the last couple of games.
Seeing Bachman really just struggle to place that ball on that outer half away from Enright.
That's hit hard, but right to Watley, mishandled. So that's going to be the 4th error commit by Liberty in a regional final where everything's on the line.
That one, good things happen whenever you hit the ball hard. This is a routine ground ball, but you look at the exit velo on that one, and you look at how hard that ball was hit. One little hop all of a sudden causes an error.
Frankie Vrajel takes a strike. You know, we saw Watley. We told you about how she suffered a concussion earlier this season. Had to wear a face mask at times in the field. She was wearing that at points in yesterday's game against Texas A&M, has ultimately been without the mask today. This is her first couple of games back in more than 2 weeks.
It's not easy to do. Be in a season, be out of a season, be back in.
In such a tense spot as well. This one should retire the side in the 6th. So it's a scoreless inning for Bachman and the Flames. Liberty has got 6 outs to try to rally, or we're going to a Game 7. Knocked out in the regional round since we went to this tournament format 20 years ago, 2005. Kate Munnerlyn back in the circle. And Liberty is 8-9-1, due up against the lefty. Savannah Jesse held the swing that time, so the count's 2 balls, no strikes. Texas A&M had its backs up against the wall, first couple of innings in. And this determined, hungry, #1 overall seed that is fueled by last year's gut-wrenching losses in the Supers to Texas.
That sits with you. You remember that game. A lot of those players that are on the field today for Texas A&M, they were on the field just a year ago. You let it sting, you let it motivate you, it brings you back here. Motivated them all season long. They have broken record time after time. It feels like every single game, Texas A&M has broken some kind of record. It's made them tough. We talked about their comeback wins. We talked about their experience with double headers.
3-2 here to Jesse. Jammed her, 1 out. Oh, the latest record they broke yesterday was the program single-season runs record after scoring 17 against Marist. It has been an explosive, very productive and effective offense all year long. Across the board, top 20 offense in the nation. So when they were held to just the 5 hits yesterday in that loss to Liberty, that raised a lot of eyebrows. This is Watley. 0 for 2 today.
I think also on the flip side, you have Liberty. They have been so close so many times. At one point, they were 1 out away from advancing, going to Supers for the first time in their program history.
Last year in Athens.
That sits with you.
And they were walked off on by the Bulldogs. And so now they must control all of these emotions. Yes, they had the 6-0 lead. It disappeared over the last couple of innings. 1-2 on the way to Watley, and that one's bounced.
Really love what Munderland has been doing, just that backdoor curve, just placing it right on that corner, the adjustment that Liberty's made. She's responded very well. They've scooted up towards the plate. So they're right on that chalk line, as tight as it can be. They're daring her, hit me. But the way that she's responded, that bend in her backdoor curveball, starting at the leg, ending right on that corner, Seeing a lot of takes.
Watley kicked her left foot up there. And so it looks like she did get hit. Anyway, the pitch was going to be ball 4 regardless. So they got a 1-out base runner now in the bottom half of the 6th.
See, just right on that crossover, it just skims the outer half of that leg as she's crossing over to go through with the slap. So it's kind of catch-22. We just talked about it. That backdoor has great bend, great break, but whenever it doesn't, we've seen several hit by pitches or balls miss hard inside. That's what you're giving up. But as a hitter, you have to decide, all right, am I gonna risk it, let it go by? Or if I see something coming at my leg, I know that's not where it's ending. It's ending on that inside corner, and I'm turning on it. And Savannah Woodard, she started off this game with a home run. She's been patient since 2 walks, but she loves that inside pitch. If I'm her, I'm hunting that one.
Munnerlyn, the freshman, misses with the 2-0, so now it's a 3-ball, no-strike count to Woodard, who has walked twice, including once against Munnerlyn back in the 4th. So this freshman has given Texas A&M very quality innings here. It's almost 4 shutout innings here for Munnerlyn. That's there for a strike. She came out of the bullpen in the 2nd when things were getting really out of hand for the Aggies. Liberty scored 5 in the 2nd. They've been shut out since. That's just high and away, so consecutive walks to start the 6th inning.
Looks like that patience paying off for the 2 lefties, but now we have a righty up to the plate. Rachel Roupe.
10 in a row. If Liberty needed to respond, now is the time. Roupe slashes it foul. Roupe hit it hard her last time up against Munnerlyn, but grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. The Flames, they've got to do something today they've never done. Win on Sunday in a regional or beat a team twice. That's a little tight. Count evens.
It has been so close time and time again.
Roupe waits on it, popped up. And there's 2 out. That is a big out for Munnerlyn. This freshman has now logged 4 scoreless innings. 1 more out gets the Aggies to the 7th, where they would be 3 outs away from forcing that game 7.
McManus, I'm wanting to hit something behind runners, hard, low in the ground. You know the angle that pitch is going to be coming at, whether it's an inside curveball or a backdoor. Even her changeup has a bit of a curveball movement to it. Allow it to get deep, get into you.
McManus hits it hard. That's over Este's head, off the fence. 1 run is coming home to score, and McManus gets the 2nd. The tying run is coming to the plate for Liberty. How close was McManus? Watch this.
I mean, this one, McManus, she knows this curveball is coming. It's low, it's in, it's the same pitch that she just saw. But being able to stay in her legs, let that curveball get deep. She's not gonna allow herself to reach too far out in front. Let it get deep, get something into her wheelhouse, and then she sends that. Talk about a response. Texas A&M, they went on that run back in the third. Like you said, 10 unanswered runs, didn't score in the sixth. Liberty, they're right back in it. Scored one here, 3 away.
Just a high-level battle between two teams with strong cultures, veteran programs, champions, each of their respective conferences. What a clash. 2-0 now. That's on the outside corner. So Henault, this regional, after not starting any of the games in their Conference USA tournament, she's now 4 for 8 at the plate in 3 starts. Good eye that time.
Hard one to lay off of, too hard away. And then you have that changeup that almost looks like that backdoor. Already keeping their hands back, just being patient. You can tell they're locked in with the pitches that they're hunting.
Henault took the fastball in the outside corner. Payoff pitch coming with 2 outs. Woodard at third, McManus at second. Henault the tying run at the plate. Munnerlyn got her swinging, and the inning is over. Liberty gets one back, but Munnerlyn strands a pair in scoring position. And the Aggies are 3 outs away from forcing a winner-take-all Game 7. At Davis Diamond this afternoon and evening. Texas A&M, yeah, they're 3 outs away from forcing the winner-take-all finale here this regional. Liberty got a run in the bottom of the 6th. Paige Bachman back in the circle, trying to just keep this where it's at. Kelsey Mathis leads off. 9-1 and 2 due up for the Aggies. The resolve and the toughness that has been on display for Texas A&M. Very impressive since it lost 8-5 to these Flames yesterday. So Liberty, the 2 seed in this regional, they had the upper hand going into today's action. They'll get 2 shots at it to win 1 game and go to the program's first ever Super. A&M has got to win twice. The #1 seed in the field is right now 3 outs away from forcing that Game 7. They fell behind 6-0 in the first couple of innings. Just a holy cow sort of moment after Liberty's win yesterday. Count goes full to Mathis. But then the Aggies rattled off 10 straight runs. They chased Escobar and did some damage against Bachman as well. 3-2 to the left side. Easy one for Crane, and there's 1 out.
Bachman has just settled in. You really see her finding her groove, finding her pace and rhythm. That's what you want right now if you're Liberty. I mean, they had the tying run up to the plate. Last inning. Can you maintain the score? Just continue to give yourself a chance. Paige Bachman, that's what she's doing right now in the circle. I mean, what a game. If you'd asked me in the third, I would have said it looked like Liberty. If you'd asked me in the 5th, I would have said looks like A&M.
Just a whole lot, a bevy of momentum swings. That pitch is in for a strike to Kennedy Powell, who's got a couple of RBI singles today. She's 2 for 4. This has been quite a game, quite a battle.
Let's talk about the game. Kind of 3 games within a game. You have your first 2 innings. Those are the punch innings. You're kind of sparring with your partner, seeing who's going to punch first, who's going to land the first blow. Innings 3, 4, and 5, those are the working innings. Those are the grind. What can you do during those innings?
2 outs.
6 and 7, though. anything can happen. Those are championship innings. That's where you see the biggest stars step up. You see those players who are gamers. When there's so much pressure on the line, they go, I live for this. I eat this for breakfast. Give me another.
Coco Woolley bounces that one to the left side. She can fly. That throw is wide. And so Woolley heads to second base. Liberty's got to get on this one quickly. Nobody's at the second base bag. So that's a hit and an error.
Savannah Woodard not covering that second base. There was an option there for a throw. We've seen Savannah Woolley, very uncharacteristic. Couple of errors so far this game. Clean defense that has come back to bite Liberty multiple times this game. But being able to keep this game in check, within reach, getting out of this inning right here, 2 outs, but a huge part of the lineup. That's what Liberty and Bachman.
The team, we had that controversial play at the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning, or pardon me, Nicole, the top half of the 5th inning. Looked like Liberty had retired the base runner at the plate. She was ruled safe. Now you've got Maya Perez. 2-run homer back in the 4th. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Liberty has never commit this many errors in a game at any point this season. It's a lot of errors on the biggest stage.
We're just talking about it. Those big time players, that's what they're wanting. Give me the ball. I'm ready. I'm calm. I'm gonna make this play. There are a few innings where the game got a little big for them.
It's topped foul.
But Liberty, they can pull this off. They've already done it. That's why they're in this position. They beat Texas A&M yesterday. They played like a top 25 team. They are good. But whenever you have the offense of Texas A&M, whenever you have Mai Perez up here, up to plate.
Look out.
Look out. Especially over that wall. There, she's sent a few over there.
Two coming to Perez. Thought about it. Checked that swing, and Bachman could not get her to chase it. Perez, the breakout star in the SEC this year. One of them. All-conference season. And after the homer today, up to 16 now on the year. Payoff coming. We'll do it again. If Texas A&M wins, we turn around, Nicole, about 30-40 minutes after this one goes final. And we play just a winner-take-all Game 7. Perez drills it into center, a base hit. So Texas A&M gets a little more insurance. Perez wins the battle, and in the process has just set A&M's single-season RBI record, 73.
Maya Perez, this one a little early, but she talked time and time again about getting her barrel on the ball early, getting it on plane. Even though she's early, because that barrel is on plane, she's able to make solid contact, extend that through, hard enough to get through the infield. Liberty once with a 6-0 lead. They're now down 11-7. A little flabbergasted maybe, but being able to reset, get control.
Perez and Barber, who's up now, they have feasted against these Liberty pitchers today. A&M has got a pretty comfortable cushion here. They'll have to get those 3 outs in the bottom half of the 7th, but they're in a good spot. 0-2 is ripped, but foul. So now you start looking ahead. Maybe I shouldn't, but I guess I will. Emily Kennedy only threw about 25-30 pitches. That's the All-American. She was lifted very quickly. Elena Escobar wound up throwing 55 before she was pulled.
Could see a total reset.
Yep. Runner on the go. This is the pinch runner, Golden. That throw is into center field and cleaned up by Madry there, the center fielder. So you got another insurance run in scoring position.
Some nice throw behind the plate by Jessie. See Watley just late on the jump to that one.
Very close, but off the outside corner. That one hits Barbara. So you got 2 on. Barbara and Jessie. Well, they were having some words here. The catcher, Mike Burrell, the home plate umpire, stepped in very quickly.
Very quickly. Barbara not happy with that hit. That one gets her on that back arm and on the stomach. Not happy about that one at all.
Well, I take it back. It looked like Jessie didn't say much there, but Burrell just stepped in very quickly. So the umpires have gotten together here now.
Mac Barber, she had some words. It was more so at the situation than at Paige Bachman, but I think that's what this conversation is about. I think the conversation, did she intend to go towards Mac Barbara, or was she just going towards first base? Me, just looking at it, looked like she went straight towards first base.
I don't think there's anything terribly aggressive here Barbara winds up doing. Like you said, just a little frustrated.
Again, not happy about the hit. Kind of express some words, and then she went straight to first base. I think it looked a little bit worse than it actually was. But if anything, Rachel Kane trying to pump up her pitcher. You see Paige Bachman, she looked a little affected. You got 2 outs.
It's a painful moment for Barbara. 2 on, 2 away. And now you've got the very prolific Amari Harper at the plate. (3-2) lifted out to left. So the inning is over. Texas A&M gets an insurance run, and it's 3 outs away from forcing a winner-take-all Game 7.
Top of the Liberty dugout.
You know, I noticed Dot Richardson, she called over, this was in the half-inning break, she called over a member of the security team and had a couple of words with the gentleman right next to her dugout. So now the emotions, if you didn't already have an awareness that the emotions have been high today, the heat is up now. Richardson had a little wave, did a little mocking wave to the gentleman who just got tossed. So Mike Burrell, the home plate umpire and stadium personnel, they pointed out the person who was sitting right on the dugout. You're right, Nicole, on that first base side. Well, let's get back to softball now. This is Kate Munnerlyn one of the best outings of her freshman season, coming when the pressure and the stage is the biggest here. If she finishes this out, it would be 5 1/3 innings for Munnerlyn, of only allowing 1 run in those 5 1/3. If she gets to the finish line here, it would be the longest outing of the season for the freshman. When Texas A&M needed a pitcher to dial in and get to work. That's on the outside corner for a strike. KK Madry leads off for the Flames.
So Madry showed that bunt back, that first strike. On base with that same bunt, knowing that she's been attacking on the inside half. Munnerlyn, she started to work away from the lefties last inning. You saw away with the curveball, off speed, tight inside. That is where she's been getting liberty, mixing them up with their speeds.
Madry into left, or pardon me, into right, a base hit for KK Madry. Well, Liberty needs the rally of all rallies if it wants to finish the job here and not have to play another game.
We've seen it done before. We know it is possible. But you have to take it in the moment. That is what KK Madry does so well. She stays within the moment.
Madry is a threat to run, by the way. First pitch swinging, that's foul, back to the screen. Paige Dorr singled in a run back in the second. She homered against this team yesterday. So she's knocked in 6 runs now in 3 games. It's been a productive tournament for the Coburg, Oregon native. Off speed, got her. Counts 0-2.
Munnerlyn has been keeping these hitters guessing. I love the change of zones, the change of location. But I think that off speed, that's been my favorite so far.
Goes back to it, misses away. Munnerlyn fires. Check swing into shallow right, and another one falls down. Madry stops at second before Texas A&M finally recovers and gathers it. The first 2 have reached against Kate Munnerlyn.
This spot almost identical. You could see coming in hard from right field. Kelsey Mathis makes a great effort, but gets a little mixed up. I think KK Madry knew that she had a read on it. She was going to take a hard lead. Otherwise, we probably have a 1st and 3rd situation. But it's just passing the bat.
Rachel Crane, hitless today, walked earlier, takes a strike.
Last at bat just rolled into a double play. Right now, if anything, keeping the ball behind your runners, knowing your situation, knowing your pitcher. What a roller coaster this game has been. I mean, we've had the highs,
Yes,
we've had the lows. I'm up here on the edge of my seat.
It would be both, partner. 1-1 check swing, that's foul. And so Crane has to protect with 2 strikes. Liberty led 6-0 after 2 innings. It threw a massive punch very early, only to see Texas A&M score 6 runs in the top half of the 4th, where they, for the first time, swung in front. Scored 3 more in the 5th, added 1 in the 7th. 4-run advantage. Tapper, left side. Powell gets the runner in 3rd. Throw on to 1st. Crane is safe. Looks like she had just beat out the throw. Kennedy nearly the 5-3 double play.
And this is exactly what A&M was trying.
Alexia Carrasquillo. She pinch hits for Savannah Jessie, who was 0 for 3. For Carrasquillo, only 43 at-bats this year. Good batting average in those opportunities. 4 homers in 21 games. Munnerlyn misses low. The count's 2-0.
Right now, any base runner is good news for Liberty. You'll take it with a walk. You'll take it with a flare over second base. Get runners on. You need to move them around.
Carrasquillo drills one towards the gap, off the bottom of the fence. 1 run scores. Carrasquillo stops at first. And now all of a sudden, after the run comes home, Liberty is bringing what would represent the tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 7th.
I mean, this ball was absolutely shot. Carrasquillo, she knew what she was looking for, that curveball, a little elevated on the inner half of the plate. She gets all of this one. A great play by Enright, getting that in quickly, not only preventing a second run from scoring, but also holding up Carrasquillo at first. Now we have runners on the corners instead of second and third. Big time defense by Enright for A&M, but talk about clutch. A pinch hit by a freshman in the bottom of the 7th, game on the line, and you come through.
She drilled that one. Now this is Aubrey Norris, the pinch run. Look, if you're Texas A&M, you start to look at it this way. Carrasquillo and the Liberty fans are loving it. This is Savannah Watley. Takes the first pitch on the outside edge. Texas A&M, you have to start looking at it from this vantage point. The base runners don't necessarily mean anything. Watley is the one you have to retire. She represents the tying run. Liberty down 3 in the 7th.
In this defense, you can see Watley, she's been running through, slapping almost. You can see defense, Coco Woolley shifted up the middle. Kennedy Powell, she's staying on the line, couple steps up.
Swing and a foul tip, that's into the mitt, strike 2.
And that's why that shift looks like that. In case the soft slap is in play, you'll see Kennedy Powell get anything in that area, but anything hard, a swing through from Watley, that's gonna be all Coco Woolley.
1-2 coming to the senior. It's up and away. A tense, compelling, dramatic 7th inning. Tying run at the plate for Liberty. There's a swing, a drive into center, a base hit. It's now 11-9. The tying run in Watley is on base. And now you flip it back to this very productive top of the order for the Flames.
I was thinking right before that pitch, you can see KK Madry almost overcome with emotion. She couldn't even look. But right before that pitch, I was thinking, man, the nerves, the moment. We talked about those athletes that won it. Watley had a couple of defensive miscues earlier this game. Being able to flush that, being present, being in the moment, that has been a big time theme for the Liberty Flames. Dot Richardson, she says, keep your eyes on the ball like you keep your eyes on Jesus and everything will work out just fine. Liberty, they have been keeping their eyes on the ball so well. Right on the nose, Dr. Dot. She's loose. She's in the moment. She's dancing a little bit.
The Hall of Famers squad is rallying here in the bottom of the 7th. And it's the top of the order now. Savannah Woodard will face Kate Munnerlyn for the 3rd time today. Back in the opening frame, Woodard went yard to set the tone for this thrilling game. She is the potential winning run at the plate. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Munnerlyn, the freshman, Trisha Ford is sticking with her. 10th spot, 2 on, 1 away. If Liberty wins, they advance to the Supers. Woodard swings, slow chopper. Here comes the second baseman, DeMitt. They get Woodard at first. Both runners advance. Rachel Roupe is coming up.
And I know there's still 2 runs away, but you have to think back to that 5th inning, that play at the plate where the runner at home for A&M was called safe on the force out. Makes such a huge difference between an 11-9 game and a 10-9 game. You have a squeeze.
Everybody is on their feet with Rachel Roupe at the plate. This one gets away from Barbara, but the base runner at third, that's Norris. She stayed put. Nicole, a base hit here from the Player of the Year in Conference USA, could potentially tie things up. Here's a 1-0. Inside edge for a strike. Roupe drilled the grand slam in the second. That put Liberty ahead 6-0 at the time. What will she do in crunch time? 1-1, that's slash foul. Everything hanging on this at-bat right here.
And your mindset? Breathe.
A&M trying to shut the door to force a Game 7. Here's the 1-2. Count evens. Swing, liner, that's off of Munnerlin's mitt. The shortstop can't make the play, and another run scores. A laser right back to the circle. It knocks Munnerlin's mitt off. Woolley through to first. They almost got her. Roupe is safe, and the tying run is at third.
This is what you live for, a shot. Look at Woolley coming in, effort. But Roupe diving, I mean, she barely gets in by the skin of her teeth over at first. Trisha Ford out.
Look at this, the slide. Wow. If not for the slide, Woolley was all over that one. She almost got her. Nicole, the tying run is at third with 2 outs. Bryn McManus, number 3 hitter, is coming up. We said Liberty needed the rally of all rallies. They've scored 3 in this bottom of the 7th. First pitch to McManus is low.
McManus, her last at bat, let that curveball get deep, drove it out to the wall and left.
2-0.
Probably not going to get that same pitch again. If I'm her, I'm looking for something off speed. They want me to get out of my timing, out of my rhythm. Game on the line, I'm going to be anxious. Be set up for that slow.
Three and nothing, and the drama grows. Ball 4. Liberty has the winning run in scoring position. They went into this home 7th down 4. They've scored 3. Ford has gone out to the circle once before in this frame to talk to the freshman. She's sticking with her.
She's done a phenomenal job in the circle, just being able to hold down a very good offensive Liberty team. Kate Motherland.
Alyssa Hennel just got hit. It's a tie game. Liberty will not quit. And the winning run is sitting at third. A wild bottom of the 7th. And the Flames are this close. from the most dramatic comeback win in program history. Trisha Ford is finally making the change. Have you ever seen something like this with the 1 seed with its back up against the wall in this elimination game?
Texas A&M, they are down to their very last out. Getting out of this inning, putting themselves back in the driver's seat offensively. They have been producing all game long, especially this second half of the game. So right now, defense with bases loaded, 2 outs, you have a lot of options. If you're in the outfield, you're set up for anything in the air. I want to make sure I catch. I'm going to be playing straight up. And a huge round of applause from the Aggie faithful for Kate Mudderlin. A fantastic outing as a freshman here in a big-time regional. Defense, again, playing straight up, a lot of options. You can go to any bag, you just need one.
My goodness. At a minimum here, Liberty, even if they get the last out, it's forced extras. Can they get it done? It will be KK Madry to hit with the bases loaded against Sydney Lessentine. This is the freshman who pitched in the opening game for Texas A&M. 20th appearance of the season. She's logged more than 60 innings. She needs the biggest out of her life right now on this stage to force extras for Texas A&M. Folks, we have had the tournament structured this way for 20 years. And in 20 years, no #1 national seed has ever failed to advance out of the regional round. And Texas A&M hanging by a thread right now. Dot Richardson's Flames have scored 4 to tie the score. KK Madry, one of the leaders of this team. Yeah, Nicole, she's at the plate.
Scripted it any better.
She started this inning off with a single. First pitch is in the dirt. Rachel Roupe is the runner at third that represents the winning run for Liberty, who is this close to going to its first ever Super Regional. That's at the letters.
And the looks that you're getting, KK Madry from Lessentine, it's going to be a different look. You're not going to get that curveball.
1-1 is foul back.
You're going to see balls up in the zone. Saw that strike call. You saw that foul ball. That is where most of the strikes are going to be at. Lessentine, she's trying to get her to chase. Work up in the zone for KK Madry. Dial it in, get that barrel nice and flat.
The Flames have scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They've erased the deficit. Winning run at third. 2-2 to Madry. Outside ball 3. Count is full.
And that has consistently not been a strike all game long. The outside corner has been a tough one to spot for both sides. A full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, tie game.
All the drama right here. Payoff pitch, swing, that's foul, high in the air down the line.
This is the situation as a kid. You go bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, we're home team. I have a full count, and I hit the walk-off, or I get the strikeout. This is what you dream of.
In the air, that's out to left field. Eshte has it lined up. We are going to extras. Liberty scores 4, erases the deficit. To the 8th we go. Made a nice stop.
And I think this is why, because there have been multiple errors over at shortstop. The thought is we need somebody who's going to lock it down defensively. But as a freshman, that can feel overwhelming. Scratch it, flush it down the toilet.
That is the 6th error committed by Liberty today. So, boy, you just wonder if that number is cut in half. Where are we at right now in this game? 11 up in extras of a thrilling regional final. Kramer Eshte at the plate for the first time today. And gets ahead of Bachman. Liberty beat this #1 seed yesterday. Erased a 2-run deficit late in the game, scored 5 runs, ultimately won 8-5. So it's got the upper hand today. That was the stunner of the tournament. And then you fast forward to today, and these two are now playing into extras, all knotted up at 11. And with Liberty having the upper hand, if it wins this game, it advances, and A&M is out. That's ball 4. The Aggies, though, what do they have cooking here in the top half of the 8th inning?
We talked about A&M. If they could get out of the bottom of the 7th, their offense has been producing time after time, inning after inning.
This crowd is trying to psych out Bachman. She's throwing 4 straight pitches out of the zone. You can hear them chanting ball 5. This is what they do here. Kelsey Mathis without a hit today. 0 for 3 with a walk. That one walk was with the bases loaded against Bachman back in the 5th inning. So she will go head-to-head here with the right-hander for a 3rd time today.
JC walking out to Bachman, getting first pitch. What do you want to start off this at-bat with? How do we attack this girl?
That's at the knees for a strike.
I would love it whenever catchers do that, especially when the crowd is going crazy. You walk up to your pitcher and go, what are you sure of? Because a pitcher that is confident in a pitch, that's the one you want her to throw.
Over to the left side, that's a base hit. Into left, Dorr is up with it, and the bases are full for the Aggies. An immediate response for Texas A&M after Liberty forced extras.
Even the banana is stressed. His peel is coming off. Just taking the top half off. This game is insane.
Absolutely thrilling, dramatic, tense, regional final. Casey Fagan is walking out to the circle now to try to settle Bachman down. She got the first batter to line out to center field. Enright then reached on the error. Eshte walked, and Mathis ripped the single.
Right now, Liberty, they're just trying to minimize the damage. Bases loaded, only 1 out. If you can get out unscathed, that is huge. Any base right now, a ground ball up the middle, double play. Here we go. A ground ball up the middle through the infield for A&M. They're up. They have the momentum back in their dugout. Have to think back. Liberty left bases loaded.
They had the winning run at 3rd base. KK Mantry at the plate.
But the effort to get there, to even be in that position. 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. I mean, this is postseason softball right here.
Kennedy Powell takes that for a strike. Just what a situation for both of these teams. A&M cannot take another loss. Liberty, the underdogs in a lot of ways, facing the 1 seed. Tied things up, and now A&M has untied it. Powell has driven in 1. Here's a throw to the plate. Eshte scores. 2 runs single for Powell. A&M punches back.
This one over the middle of the plate. Didn't get out enough, especially with a hitter like Powell. She is so good with controlling her barrel. Her hands stay elevated inside the half of the ball. Snaps that wrist through, and a hard hit through the infield. Scores to Texas A&M. The fight that we have seen from them.
Coco Woolley takes a strike. This game has been bananas.
And I thought my banana pun was good.
Didn't mean to upstage you. Wild game. In all seriousness, this has been one of, if not the most thrilling game of this regional round, especially with the significance of the stakes that are involved. It is high stakes right now. Off the end of the bat, runner coming home, and Liberty gets the out at first. 2 gone, but Texas A&M is now back up by 3 runs.
And I love this decision by Coco Woolley. Taking it with her towards first, a soft slap. She knows that the defense, they're back a little bit. Savannah Woodard, she was playing a couple feet from the grass. That was a hard charge in, especially with runners on second and third. They see that ball on the ground, they're automatically going. She'll take the out at first if it gives her team another insurance run. Texas A&M, what a response. Nobody scores 4, they come back, and they score 3. And who else? Miss Maya Perez. She even changed her walk-up song today.
Oh, she's got the crowd going.
Get the crowd going.
The song and the at-bats today. She's driven in 3 runs, 2 for 5 at the plate. Liberty went up 6-0 after 2 innings. Only to see A&M swing back in front with a 6-run 4th. They added a few more runs, had an 11-7 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 7th, pardon me. Liberty then scores 4. This massive rally had the winning run at third base before KK Mandry was retired. So A&M ultimately pushed it to extras, and they've scored 3 times. Perez fouls that off of her foot. Powell knocked in a pair. Woolley with that slow roller to the right side brought in another run.
How tough are these athletes mentally? They're tough. They are locked in. My bet she waved off her trainer. She said, I'm good. I'm locked in. I'm in my rhythm.
Ball 3, count goes full. Bachman trying to get this last out. Here's a payoff. Perez bounces it over the first base bag. That's fielded fair, and the inning comes to a close. The #1 seed in the field scores 3 in the top half. They'll try to do it again in the bottom of the 8th to force a Game 7. He started a very similar spot to 1 inning ago. Paige Dorr. She hit second in the bottom of the 2nd, bottom of the 7th rather. Reached base, scored one of those runs. But this time around, she faces Sydney Lessentine, facing just her 2nd batter. The freshman came out of the bullpen with the winning run at third base and retired KK Mandry to end the frame. 0-1 pitch to Dorr. That one's back up the middle, bouncing, fielded by Woolley. Got her at first. Dorr has got her arms out. She doesn't like the call. Did Woolley beat her?
Coco Woolley not giving up on this one, the range, but look how quickly she transitions that ball out of the glove into her hand. I mean, this is bang, bang. To me, Doc Richardson, she's talking to the first base umpire right now, just having a conversation with him. That's Brett Higgins. Talking to him. At umpire's discretion, they can review. This is one where I might want to if I'm an umpire. I want to get this right.
Initiated challenge.
Yep.
The call at first base will be reviewed.
Based on that replay we saw, Nicole, I think they got her by a fraction. And this one is going to our replay center in Pittsburgh. Look at how close this is.
They just
there it
her.
is.
I mean, she catches it and then the footsteps on. That is bang, bang. Let's add this to the running tally that we have of plays that have been so tight all game long. But I think this is the right call. I think she's out.
The veteran Coco Woolley gets to that bouncing ball up the middle, shows off her athleticism and also the laser right arm.
First base will be upheld.
One away.
Coco Woolley stepping up big time. Earlier in the year, I talked to her and I said, what was the biggest difference as a defense? We all know A&M offense, but what was the biggest difference as a defense that happened whenever Trisha Ford and her coaching staff came? And she said, attention to detail, the little things. That right there is such a little thing. You work on your transitions day in, day out at practice. How quickly can I get the ball out of the glove? When do I give up on a play? When do I take the right angle? All those little things accumulated together gets a huge first out for Texas A&M.
Rachel Crane waves at that one. So these Aggies, after falling behind 6-0 early on, after surrendering the Liberty rally in the bottom of the 7th, after losing to this team yesterday, 2 outs away from forcing the decisive Game 7.
Crowd wanting that one a little inside.
This crowd has been antsy now for several innings.
I have too.
What a thrilling game. Extra inning war. 2-1 out to right. That stays up for Mathis. And A&M's 1 out away. Now you start to sense it.
Just peeking ahead. If the score still stands after one more out, you're Liberty. You have to wipe this game. Take all the good, but you have to wipe this. And if you're Texas A&M, you have to come out hot.
First pitch to Savannah Jessie. It's a little tight.
About the freshman for Texas A&M. Kate Motherland does an awesome job shutting it down. And Sid Lessentine.
Right back to Lessentine. Ball game over. Texas A&M forces a Game 7. The #1 seed in the field.
And that's the ball game. Your final score, Texas A&M 14.
Half the job is done for the Aggies. And we will turn around and play the winner-take-all Game 7 to determine who will advance to the Super Regionals. The Aggies had to have it. Fell behind 6-0. Watched Liberty force extras with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They get 3 in the 8th. Lessentine closes the door in a wild, dramatic, thrilling regional final game in Bryan College Station. Our Capital One rewarding performance. It's Kennedy Powell, the leadoff hitter for Texas A&M. 3 hits, drove